where it tells you should like after you cut them all, you should like go back and stitch along the edges to seal it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think my quilting's close enough together and I just don't care that much about it, so I'm not doing that.
Fair enough.
And at some point, he's going to have a raw dog ear sticking out from his binding, and we'll think about this moment all together.
So I take it you did do that.
I made my bet, and that's where I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
And then I have I made the
do
carrying handle strap.
Nice.
Very nice.
I did not stitch around the edges either. Because I feel like no matter what, my fate is going to be having a raw edge sticking out somewhere. And that's just life. And I try to tell people to do as I say, not as I do, but that's okay.
All the grief you gave me.
Yeah.
And then she didn't do it either.
Yeah, that's pretty curious because I know exactly how it feels every single time I do this.
So I had to make a few design adjustments mentally. I don't even have a sample square. I literally used 100% of that flamingo fabric that was like too narrow.
Oh no.
Like absolutely 100% of that panel is cut into my pieces. The quilt set A, because it gets cut in half to make the front and the back, I just ended up making 2 separate pieces, and I will just do the front and the back separate.
Yeah.
So that's how I worked my way around that. And then the only other issue was the quilt set B. And I have to do, just for the front, like the main fabric, I just have to have a seam in the middle because I got to connect 2 pieces. And I've decided that's going to be the inside of the bag, and I'm going to use my lining fabric for the outer border.
That's what I'm doing as well. That was what
that was my executive decision to hide that, is that I'm just going to put it on the inside of the bag.
I think I told y'all this in Snapchat, but I'm actually just an idiot, and I cut the wrong fabric for one of my quilt sets. And the fabric that I cut, the incorrect fabric, like that piece was going to be the outside piece as opposed to the lining piece. And like once I realized that, I was like, I'm not going to have enough fabric now. Considering everything that I just folded, that was a fucking lie, but that's okay.
So curious, like, because if it was the difference between the lining fabric and the main fabric, those are cut out like the same. Like, wouldn't you just flip it over?
Oh no! Remember, I've got 4 fabrics that I'm using.
Oh right, I forgot about that.
It wasn't even supposed to be in that.
Right.
In that group, it was supposed to be the black fabric. So I was going to be doing not the black fabric. It was supposed to be, I think, the Hamsa fabric, because it was going to be that this guy was the pockets, and then now I'm confused about what the order was. Anyways, oh no, you know what? Oh no, that's right. The gigantic ones are the pages. Okay, so these are the backings, and this was supposed to be the black fabric on this side, and instead I accidentally used the Hamsas. So I'm going to have the white on the outside now. So the bag is going to be like this.
Okay.
Why is this so much shorter? Oh, because this is the side strap. I'm holding the side strap, not the pocket.
Hence the really awesome labels that we all printed.
Right. Like, oh no, what did I do? Nothing.
I started to use them because it really started to make sense that we would want to know what those pieces are, each of them.
Yeah, no, the labels, 100 out of 10. Best part about the pattern.
Oh, for sure. So this is I don't know if I showed you guys this yesterday. Like, this is literally my, like the dimensions of my main fabric. And I used every square inch of it to cut out A, B, C, and D. And it happened to work out that everything was like, I literally was able to just do that line down not the center, but like one straight line down and then just make my length cuts.
So that's what the outside of my bag is going to be now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cute though.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's a little different than what I planned, but that's okay. So I got the cutting and the quilting cutting step done. And then I've got my binding cut. I don't think I cut enough binding because I was using a piece that was like 18 by 22 instead of 24 by 24. And I didn't do that like no waste thing that she had where you flipped it around because I was like, that's math and I don't want to deal with that math right now. This probably requires no math whatsoever, but like I'm not having it. So I just did a little sample strip of I did the, what I could get out of the 18 by 22. And of course, the nice thing with binding is that you can literally stop in the middle of binding to add more pieces to that binding. Feel like we have all been there before.
I have not been there before.
Oh, right, because you're new. Well, you have run out of binding and needed to add more binding in the middle of binding, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Oh, let me add another strip.
Like, oh, fine. There should have been plenty.
Right. And for whatever reason, I always make like half a foot too little or 17 yards too much.
Yes, there's no in between. It is like way too much or you're just shy.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I've only ever had to weigh too much.
Yeah.
So,
because you're following patterns instead of winging it, and when you wing it, yeah.
So I was really excited. Well, two things. One, my husband sold his fish tank yesterday, and my front room no longer has a saltwater fish tank in it.
Was that looking up? Like, was it in furniture that made it as tall as that wall?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, I saw where you were mudding, and I was like, that's going all the way up the wall.
Well, yeah, because he had the light, like he had lights hung above it. And then there were like support straps going at an angle even higher. So I had to mud all the way up.
Got it. That makes sense.
But because I spent the whole day cleaning up after he left, he ended up, there was so much fish tank stuff that the guy's car did not fit it all. So they also filled up our van and Sean had to follow him to his house to unload it all. But there's so much room in the front room now and it's all super clean. So I was able to just do my cutting on the floor.
Love it.
With like all my fabric nice and flat and I could shift it around and it was kind of amazing. Yeah, so there was some floor cutting going on yesterday.
Nice. I appreciate that.
I did, and I was excited because I really, honestly, I don't know why I was so anxious about some of the cutting for this, but I knew I only had a little bit of this main fabric, and I didn't want to mess it up.
That is a very valid reason to be anxious about cutting.
I was like anxiety level 100 on getting that stuff cut. So it was a big hurdle for me to get over to actually have cut all my fabric yesterday. Like that was a big win for me. Now I'm like, okay, now let's quilt this bitch.
Sorry, I've got a whole stack of cardboard just from like random orders that I haven't actually left the apartment in 2 days to throw out any of these boxes. But I'm gonna steal a piece of one to wrap my binding around. So this is the weird thing that we got at
What is she chewing on?
Quilt Expo. So Chris has one of these too, but he hasn't seen a demo for it.
I honestly, I kind of used it for the straps.
Oh, did it work for you for the straps?
Moderately well, yes.
Okay. I attempted it with the straps and it didn't really work for me, but also like I'm real dumb. So, what were you doing with it with the straps? Was it after it was stitched together you were opening the seams, or was it just
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't get it to open the seams for me. I was using really stiff fabric though.
Hang on. So wait, I'm sorry. My dog was eating something. What did you do that didn't work?
Using this mat to do the straps to open the seams on the straps. And I was like, maybe it'll work for that. It did not, but that's okay. So
do you have to press them like flat, like press the seam open? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes. And ultimately,
Okay.
I mean, I did it. I've already done with the straps, the like construction of the straps. I still have to do the finish stitches and the like finishing the ends on them where they need it, but I've got the actual like straps with the strapping inside them.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
This mat is supposed to be for making binding really easy, and I haven't done it yet, but you put the fabric in these little hooks here. And then it just feeds through. And supposedly you can just leave your iron sitting there. That's not working for me because of the stretch of the bias. But
yeah, I didn't have any luck leaving the iron there either, but I haven't done it for the binding yet.
Do you have one of those too, Chris?
Yeah, they got me one.
Oh, damn. That's like I want one. I'm guessing you got that at the Quilt Expo?
yeah.
That's freaking amazing.
There was a lady who demoed it, and I was like, you know what? I like it.
I need that in my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
So definitely with bias binding, it doesn't just like drag through as she said it was going to, but like no product is as good as they ever say it is. That being said, though, I am really happy with this. Oh, you know what? There, look at that go.
Oh, look at that go.
Look at that.
Look at that slide.
Look at that slide.
Slide to the left.
And of course, it's a silicone mat, so that iron can just live there forever. My iron has a really early time cutoff on it, so it's probably going to shut off momentarily, but that's okay. I'm going to start using it again, and it comes back on. And then, of course, you can't just use it as a pad for ironing on. You don't have to. It's not just for binding. It just has this extra little feature of these loops. Oh my gosh. I'm really happy right now, y'all.
Yeah, what's happening is real pleasant.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to revisit the straps on this.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and I just did this entire piece of binding.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously you got that at the Quilt Festival, and I'm like looking for my phone. Like, where's my phone so that I can look that up? And
the brand's printed across the front of that, Alicia.
Yes, it is Quilted Hearts. And I believe it was called a Bind Easy.
Bind Easy. All right.
So this piece of binding is now done. And again, it's probably going to be short, but That's a problem with the future.
That is freaking amazing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and actually, there's more pieces of binding, isn't there, for the pages? I was confused about that because they look short. They look definitely not big enough to go around those pages.
My binding is still a square piece of fabric, so I have no opinion on how much binding we actually have.
Yeah, my binding is still a yard and a half. I'll be honest. Getting ready for vacation next week, plus like a bajillion other things going on. It's been busy.
Yes.
At least I'm done with all those other bags.
Yeah, that's where I am as well. Like, things didn't work out for me, but at least I'm back down to just these two fabrics. That's not true, because I finally found all of the fabric from last year's blockheads, so I can resume doing that. But like, I can resume doing that at any time.
I have that set aside too.
Yeah, I would just like to start that soon again, because it's one that I have no idea how it's going to look at the end, you know? Like, I haven't decided yet how I'm going to do the layout of it and how effective. I don't know if my thought process is going to pan out or not. So, like, you know, stuff like that, you always want to.
Oh, for sure.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. One of my, I picked up another side project that I'm hoping to get done this week. But I'm also going over to Laura's house, and Sandy's going there. We did all the green squares for the block of the month, but we haven't done the yellow ones. They're all cut out and ready to be sewn, but we haven't sewn them, so we're doing that today.
Those are the little guys, right?
Yeah, the little guys. So, I mean, that's not going to take very long to knock that out, but
you got to do it.
Gotta do it.
I haven't done it either. And like, again, whatever. I know that it's going to be like a 1 hour project to get the entire thing done. It's too,
right.
It was going to be like, I accidentally miscut the fabric for it, for the white. And I did the like single unit size, where I'm going to construct each one individually. And I was like, damn, I guess I got to do that now because I cut it out that size. And then I was like, this is literally white and silver poinsettia fabric. This is in no way dear to me. I don't need to hoard this fabric. I can just throw out these two pieces that I shouldn't have cut.
There you go. See?
But I had to like really, really give myself a talking to on it.
Yeah, I would have folded it up and set it aside for something different someday.
It's right now because, you know, kitten life, it is, I found it actually when I was fixing my computer, because I have to actually lift my computer off the ground to fix it, because there's like a switch in the deep back on it that I can't, because it's wedged between stuff. But when I lifted it, I found that fabric underneath it. It was like, oh.
Oops.
Yeah. All right. So I now have cut and quilt. And, I have cut and quilt and cut, which I wrote backward on here. And I've got prepare bias binding, I think.
Okay. So, there we go. So, cut, quilt and cut, prepare bias, bindings, and zippers.
We just did the bias binding, not the zippers, but
right.
I'm curious. It doesn't look like in prepare bias binding, it addresses the binding for the pages. So perfect. I guess it's because they're not pieced together. There is binding on it, right?
Yeah, there is.
Oh yeah.
There is. I feel like it's around the attached pocket directions.
Oh, that makes sense.
because they want you to put all of the mesh pockets. You have to put all the mesh pocketing on both sides of the pages first with the zippers, and then you bind it to cover all those edges. So
Got it.
but it exists.
Yeah. Now, is this? Do y'all have a zipper by the foot, or I know Anne, you have zipper by the foot. You also have zipper by the foot, Chris?
I do.
Okay. So, and Chris, I know that you haven't messed with it yet, right? You haven't tried to use it. Anne, have you tried to use it yet? Okay.
Nope.
So, let's
Well, I got it right here.
just piecing it.
I'm actually super excited to like try it.
I'm wondering, these pieces look really big that we are cutting for it.
Well, the
Is that-
one's got to go all the way around the outer side of the bag.
And that really is 38 inches to go all the way around the outside of the bag?
Probably.
I would assume so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because if the sides are like, wait, what are the dimensions of that? Oh, yeah, 10 by 14. Okay, yeah. So, like, 9 up each sides once the binding and all of that is done. And then 13 across. So, yeah, that's totally valid to have. Oh, and then I think it goes around the bottom slightly. So, yeah, that's totally fine. Okay. So, these are reasonable sizes. And then...
I don't know if reasonable is still the right word. Correct, certainly, but
Right. I do think that the page zippers are ridiculously too long. Because some of these zippers are tiny and they're saying 12-inch zippers for all of them.
I haven't read these.
Yeah,
zipper
4 12-inch zippers, 6 12-inch zippers. I think they're giving you some overhang to have some wiggle room.
Oh,
But they got to be as wide as the pages.
yeah, I just realized I was thinking that they were individual zippers, and they're just zippers by the foot that we're putting extra zippers on.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
page itself is 12. I probably don't have enough zipper by the foot.
I will say, looking at the instruction, depending on how you're doing it, I guess, is you don't really have to cut them 12 because there's like a center bit that does not have zipper over it. And so like the actual usable length is 9.5 inches.
Yeah.
So if you cut it to like 10 or 10.5, you could probably afford that unless you're doing a lengthwise zipper pocket. Then you're gonna need.
And what was happening in my brain is that I was seeing like this guy right here and thinking, well, that's 2 zippers, so they should only be like 5 inches, not 12. But it's actually just 1 zipper, and that would be like the dumbest construction ever if you made that out of 2 zippers. So ignore everything that my brain is saying right now, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, because even if they split up, it still goes all the way across. We just add a second zipper to it.
Yes. I feel like I'm going to need to have these images, these guys like hanging right there as I make it, or else I am going to F them all up.
That's one of the things I'm super grateful because I ordered the zippers that I ordered. It was 3 yards of each, and it implied that they would be 3 individual rolls. But it's actually just 3 yards in one big strip.
Yes. So where did I put mine? There it is. Oh no, this was 10 yards, and I probably used like 3 yards of it already, so I'm probably okay. All right, so, and of course I have black, just to have like the worst possible color to do demos. That's okay.
No.
Oh, why did you go to that color? Gross. Okay, so zipper by the yard. All you need for it is regular scissors. Oh, Anne vanished. We'll wait until Anne comes back.
I'm here. You can carry on. I'm watching.
Oh, you are? Okay. I wasn't sure if you turned your camera off if you were like wandering off.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So first of all, with zipper by the yard, do not cut it to length until you have already attached your zipper, because you might F it up and need to like redo it a couple of times. It starts to get frayed and it goes real bad from there. You just need regular scissors for it. And then all you do to start is you just grasp it and separate it. So you've got a bit of a break right there. Let me get my scissors out of the way and put it on a white surface. And then what you are going to do is you're actually going to cut off a chunk of one of the sides. You want to cut it about the length of the actual attachment for the zipper. So this guy is 1/4 inch because it's tiny, because it's just from like China or whatever. It's trash. I'm probably going to have to replace these zippers at some point, but that's okay. I know how to do it from working with Zipper by the Yard. So I just cut off that little bit, and that's what it looks like now. So they're just a little bit offset. And then, assuming that you do not have invisible zipper, let me bring this down some. Assuming that you do not have invisible zipper, and you can't just like, if either of you are thinking it, you can't just like fake it and flip it over and make it invisible zipper. That's not how it works. You just want to make sure that the zipper pull is on the side where the zipper is sticking up, of course. So where, you guys know what the correct side of the zipper is. I don't need to explain this. You just want to make sure that you're doing the correct side because it won't work otherwise. So you're going to feed the zipper pull the wide side first. And you're just going to feed it on the longer end of it. So you've got that. I am so sorry that I'm dealing with black. This was an asshole move on my part, and I apologize. And you're going to feed it just enough to the point where, assuming that they match up, you'll be right where the second side should start going in. And as long as you've got that offset right, you should be able to just feed it right in. And it's going to be a bit of a struggle, but if you grab the pull and kind of, use your fingers as a third hand and pinch that other side, as long as you can get the fabric on the short side to feed into the slot for it, then I've got it at this point where, I've got it at that point where it's started to feed into the little side slot on it. And once you get it there, you should be able to just grasp both sides of it and give it a pull, and then it's fed. And sometimes it works pretty cleanly like this did, and sometimes it doesn't work very cleanly. I do have this offset slightly. It's not quite, it's not quite closed evenly, but that will get figured out once I run it down and back up. And, I could just kind of fix that as it's going. But That's how you put the zipper on. And then once you have the zipper on, you know exactly where your starting point is. And you can cut that off. There we go. And then if you're trying to do multiple, so now this needs to be, oh, you know what? I shouldn't. So if you're doing multiple where it is the longer one where you have 2 zipper pulls that need to meet in the middle for it to be closed, then what you'll do is you'll feed the second zipper on the other side of it. So I would now cut this to length. I would probably give myself an extra inch just in case things go wrong. But I would just feed it onto the other side. And it does not matter what end. The zipper itself is all the same. There's no, left or right on it. It doesn't matter which end you feed the zippers on.
But you don't want to feed them both onto the same end?
Right. If you are doing something where having them... No, don't flip. If you're doing something where... having them meet in the middle is going to seal the bag, then you need them to be fed from opposite sides.
So the exterior zipper should be done that way.
Yeah.
But then say on the pockets, if you're subdividing them to have 2 and 1 strip, you could do them both from the same side and they would just close the same direction.
Yeah, in this picture, oh, you know what? If you're doing them both from, if you're doing them how they are in the bag, oh, you know what? I guess it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter which way you do it in the bag. If you want them to both zip in the same direction, then you put them on the same side. If you don't want them to zip in the same direction, if you don't care about that, then you can put it on the other side. Yep. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter which way you go. In the picture, they are both fed from the same side. You can see in the picture where the little diagram of the zipper pull. They're both facing the same way. Yeah. I don't know. Does she? I'm assuming she has the exterior bag done where it's a double zipper pull, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I was just going by instinct there, but I also
it would make sense with how large it is, especially.
Yeah, I would absolutely, whether it's done that way or not in the directions, you're absolutely going to want to do it that way. Where is that in the directions, though? Oh, is it actually with the zipper directions page?
Some prepared zippers.
Oh, so she actually attaches one side backwards. Absolutely don't do that. It is so much easier to attach it where you're sliding it into the open mouth part of it. Don't follow her directions.
Good to know.
Yeah. And yeah, absolutely give it a whirl. I just did this a couple weeks ago with that last bag, so it came together pretty easy for me, but give it a whirl.
Okay. So I was trying to find my bag of zippers because I have a few.
Okay. Just a couple.
But I couldn't remember what bin I put them in. So now I have them and I'm working on this. So I've got it cut.
Mm-hmm.
And you put it on the longer side.
Yeah.
And then it should hopefully feed in with the shorter side too.
Yeah, and just the difficult part with the shorter side is for whatever reason, the fabric tends to not want to go into that little narrow passage that the fabric goes into, like once the zipper is actually fed. Oh yeah, you want to make sure that is real clean, and that is exactly where I say don't measure it until you've already gotten that pull on, because sometimes it shit just doesn't go right.
That is totally fair, and why I still have 3 yards of it clipped in here. See, now it went in, but it's off by a few teeth.
So that doesn't matter because you can fix that when you sew it. Mine's off by like a tooth, and I'm absolutely not worried about that at all.
I got mine on perfectly.
Perfect. Oh, you didn't even need to cut yours. Or did you cut yours afterward? You're using picking shears.
Oh no, that I didn't cut that.
Oh, your zipper doesn't. Your teeth don't go all the way to the end.
No, they don't.
That's why. Now, once you have like a seam where you have cut part of the zipper, and so there are teeth all the way to the end, then you're gonna need to do the fancy tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. They gave you a pass on the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
I think I could actually probably just feed on a bunch of zippers and pull them down and then cut it.
That would be real smart.
Oh, clever.
Yeah. And
yeah.
And then honestly,
the other side, the zippers, you unzip it all the way, and then it'll rectify itself being off by a tooth or two.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. And there will absolutely be times when you're trying to put on a raw end where you just have to kind of give yourself one of those Zen moments because life is not working how you want it to. But
so I get her instructions in hers about putting it in backwards. Why she likes that. So I have her zippers. It's super easy to put it in backwards.
Because you don't have the zipper all the way at the end. Yeah.
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 And like these are fairly big zippers.
The pulls themselves are, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
how many yards does she give you?
This is 4 yards.
Okay.
All right. How many zipper pulls did you have to buy those separate?
No, they came with it. 16.
16 of them. Okay.
That's decent. Yeah. You'll have plenty of
decent. Yeah, mine came 3 yards per color and 10 zipper pulls per color.
I have no idea. It was like with bag of zippers, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll see how many zippers this bag comes with. But it was 10 yards, and I've already used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. 10 yards at 20. So I guess that is just how they do the math on this. They assume for each yard you'll need 2 zipper pulls, which does not math out right. But it will for me because I make some short zippers.
Yeah, I'm honestly real pleased because I think it was like $30 and I have 10 colors.
Oh yeah, nice.
So I have 3 yards of 10 different colors and 10 zipper pulls for each one. It might be 20.
Like pretty chunky zipper pulls as well.
Yeah, they're decent size, so I'm not hating them.
Mine are itty bitty babies that I need to like attach fabric to for me to be able to grab them, but that's okay.
Also, I super love your zipper color, Chris, and I feel like it would actually match my lining fabric.
Oh yeah, it would.
I thought about switching and using those colors for some of the bags on the inside. I might use some zipper pulls, like have different colored zippers. I may do that because I have that color too. Yeah, I got that guy too.
Yeah. Look at that guy.
So yeah, and honestly, they look good together. Like the pink and the blue. Camera math is not my strong suit.
They do. It's very flamingo.
It's so flamingo. I love it. So here's a question for you, and I realize it's not a zipper related question, and you guys have both done yours, but my next mental hurdle is how do I want to quilt the quilting on this bag? I know you did your fancy
I did
Vera
diamonds.
Bradley diamonds.
Yeah.
Alicia, what did you end up doing?
So because Rosefina was having a mood, I did do stippling on the pages because she was not having a mood when I was doing the pages. And then I did do crosshatch, just like Chris. I did crosshatch for the
outside of the bag.
The outside, the main section of it. And then I was going to do like a tracing the skulls, the little skulls in the boutique.
Yeah.
I was going to do that for the outer pocket pages. And then again, Rosefina had her complete fucking meltdown. So I ended up cross-hatching them as well because walking foot was just more her mode. And I was like, I just need to get this done so that we can like keep going.
Fair. Totally fair. So I'm like, part of me is I'm looking at the bubbly circles that she has on her bag in the pictures. And I'm like, oh my God, I love those, but I just don't know if I have the skill to make it look nice.
Circles. Is this
like
like
the... Yeah, it's in the instructions. Let's see here. What page is it on? It's probably page 3.
What were we talking about?
The quilting design that she did. It's on page 3, and I just freaking love it.
Oh
yeah, like the circles.
Yeah, I just love those. But I think my go-to is I don't remember if it's called the stippling, just like the winding.
Yeah.
Stippling.
Yeah, the stippling is my favorite, like for what I do.
Yeah, so those circles, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there that they're not even spirals, they're circles. And so the thread is stopping 8 billion times, and I don't understand.
Oh, F that. Okay, yeah, never mind. F that. That ain't happening.
I don't understand why that would even be a thing.
Why would that even be something you do?
Clearly, she hates herself.
Yeah. But yeah, those are complete circles. Unless... So there's also that spirals that are going into the circle. I wonder if this is some insane...
I bet it is.
Programmed long arm pattern where it actually like jumps on those curves, and there's absolutely no way to do that by hand.
Yeah, so like abandon that dream and just go with my stippling that I had originally planned on doing.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, that is absolutely a programmed pattern is what's happening there. Oh yeah. In fact, not to like go like intense with this, but if you look at on the finished one, the pocket B side of it, the back side of it, the circle that's just to the right of the middle stitch, you can actually see where they're using that loop to jump the circles.
Yes, they are. You can see it go right through the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. So a part of me kind of wants to take one of my heat melting markers and draw a pattern to follow. I'm just trying to decide how committed I am to that.
Right. Yeah, I hit that point where I was like, I'm just cross-hatching this. I just can't keep stressing about this. Where
I'm concerned. I'm probably gonna end up there myself. But I'm still daydreaming a little bit because I have my iron out so that I can press these. So my foam, did either one of you have foam that was like fusible on one side?
No.
Oh no, neither of us had the fusible.
Okay, so my foam is fusible on one side, and I'm thinking that the fabric that I have slightly less of is probably the side that I'll want to fuse. And then the other one can shrink more because I cut that one a little bit bigger, so I have more shrink room with that fabric than I do with this fabric.
I'm trying to figure out where they attach the zipper for bag pocket A, because I was hoping that would be a really good point to demo how to actually attach the zipper to the fabric. But
I watched her video on doing the zippers on the pockets yesterday, and it seems really straightforward.
She doesn't even use the zipper foot, does she?
No.
I didn't think she did.
So I will say, I guess with zipper foot, this is just like the world that I come from because I was doing garment construction before I ever did any sort of bag thing on bags. And of course, my purse is also black and will not show up on camera. But with bags, you see all of that fabric that is going on around the zipper. Oh yeah, you can see it down there. You can see like a good like at least 1/8 of an inch, if not 1/4 of an inch of fabric next to the zipper, and that is acceptable with bag construction. In garment construction, that is absolutely not acceptable.
You want them to fold over it. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. You want it to be like right up to the nubbin on it. So I guess with that in mind, she probably doesn't. And I just don't even think about it because it's so second nature to me to bust out a zipper foot. But I guess we really don't need to worry about the zipper foot on this one. Oh, and then because of that, we probably don't need to worry really where the zipper pull is, right?
Well, she talks in the video a little bit about
shifting it.
Yeah. Where like you want them closed into the one side, stitch all the way around until you get to it, and then you just zip it back a little bit and finish it.
Got it. Oh yeah, because I guess you still have to worry about like part of your sewing machine coming down hard on it.
Yeah. But she does talk about like where you shift. Even in the instructions, it talks about where to place the zipper while you're stitching.
Perfect. Okay, well then we don't have to worry about that demo. Although I'm still really flustered about.
Although at a certain point, like I wouldn't super hate a demo on the zipper foot like separate project, but like just for my own personal knowledge because I've never used it.
Yeah. It's really like the zipper foot, how it works. You know what? Let me just do it. Let me see, because I don't want a ton of the. Oh, you know what? It doesn't matter now. I was gonna say I don't want a ton of zipper fabric showing on the front of the bag, but that was when that thing was going to be going between 2 pieces of white fabric, and now they're going between 2 pieces of mostly black fabric, so it just doesn't matter.
So now it's a moot point. It's a moot dignity.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Anyway, fully stitched carrying strap.
Nice.
Woo. And now you just got to invert it. Oh no, that is already inverted.
I already did that. Like it already has the strapling in it. I was just doing the top stitching all the way down.
Yeah. So now you just need to
like,
put the hardware in.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Most excellent.
So yeah.
So I'm thinking I might bring some of this with me.
And I set it up so like the very end of it, little snake face.
Aw.
I like it.
Runner, isn't it?
Maybe, but I look, it's giving me satisfaction right now, which is all I care about.
Only thing that matters.
Yes. Okay, so I found where I have been looking, and it is in 6. And it's a bunch of steps. Let me see if I can read through these really quickly and see if this is something that I can just bust out right now.
And the prepare the bag pockets.
Yeah, 6A.
6A. Okay.
Oh Lord, that's even got interfacing happening. I think I'll cut though.
Side.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a whirl. I'm gonna do a bit of fusing. Let's see. So there is my bag pocket A border. Why are you not doing the flippy? There we go. I got really mad when I was cutting the interfacing that I wasn't able to press it because it was wrinkled, and I was like, I don't want it all wrinkled. And I was like, oh wait, no, if I'm wrinkled, I will glue it to the cutting board.
Yes, don't do that. That would be ill-advised.
Yes,
But funny.
Right.
Hilarious, but
And I
ill-advised.
definitely feel like it's one of those things that we've all done before if we've been doing this long enough. But
Oh, for sure.
Chris, have you dealt with interfacing before?
No.
Okay. So just so you know, when you get to this part, it is deliberate that it is slightly smaller than the fabric that it's going on.
Yeah.
It's just because it's going to fold over, and you don't need that extra bulk in the seam.
What are we putting interfacing on? I haven't even read that far in.
So it is. I'm doing that front bag pocket that has the zipper on it, and it's got that wide, like, decorative piece that the zipper attaches to. So it is in the direction, or in the picture. It is this. There we go. It is this piece right here.
Oh, okay.
Because that piece isn't
So that
quilted.
piece isn't going to be as thick either because it's not going to have the foam in it.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Which will be nice.
Easier for the zipper attachment.
The zipper too.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
that
we
helps a
will
lot.
also be attaching zipper to foam, and it is less fun when it's folded over and has like the zipper fabric and blah blah blah. So this is what this piece is going to look like with the interfacing attached to it. Where, like I said, the interfacing piece is just a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, and then I'm just going to attach this to bag pocket A, which means I need to change feet.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
How dare you? I'm offended.
I think it's because my candle is dying. It's gotten down so far that the wicks are too short and they're sputtering because there's so much liquid wax.
Oh.
I just blew it out.
That unseen side.
I have told y'all before that I need so much lighting when I sew that I literally use a ring light, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like this is the first time it's actually been visible on camera, but here we are.
No, actually, Laura uses one on hers too.
Mm-hmm. And like I do have the Ott light right here. Like I've got lighting on both sides. It's insane.
I honestly wouldn't hate more light on my machine. And then I battle with 2 kids that have sensory issues and are like, turn the kitchen lights off. It's too bright.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't see.
Yeah. The ring light works really well because it's got, it's on the big swivel thing. So it can kind of go wherever I need it to for that moment. And like it just kind of lives in my peripheral so that like it's here and I can see it out of the corner of my eye, but it's not, in the way at all.
Right. So this is my quilted set B, where it's going to be the one that goes all the way around the bag and the one that I have to like piece together.
Yeah.
It's the only one that's going to be noticeable that I had to piece it together, and I'm just going to put it inside. My flamingos aren't even quite the same height. I couldn't, like, if I could match it up so the flamingos were the right height, I may still have been willing to put it on the outside, but they're about a ½ inch off.
At some point, I feel like I'm going to need to cave and get, like, not the bag that comes with the sewing machine for the feet and, like, some actual container for the feet to go into. But I feel like that's going to happen when this bag, like, the snap tears out of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't even have all my feet. Like, my walking foot just lives in the bottom of the sewing machine case.
Oh, that's fair.
Because I have to put everything away every time I sew because cats, dogs, kids.
Mm-hmm.
But that front room now, I have my,
my sewing table.
I do, and I also have space for like my daughter bought a bunch of furniture for her room, and so that storage cube system that's in the front room, that's all sewing stuff that's mine. Mm-hmm. That's all sewing project stuff, and it's just a pretty little storage center.
Yeah, I've got a shelf that was meant for a cube system as well. It's just like a single row. But it's 4 of them, and that's what I have. That's what this is right there. You can't see it, of course. You're looking at the side of it, but that is right next to my machine, and that is where all of my fabric, except for my fat quarters, go. My fat quarters have to go elsewhere.
Yeah, I had dreams because I've got 8 cubes, and I thought I am going to fit all of my fabric in there, and I'm going to be able to have access to everything.
No.
Joke's on me, man. I only fit in there the projects that I currently had strewn about that front room, and I still have 5 boxes of fabric in the basement. I'm like, oh, I wildly underestimated my
right. Oh, right. This is who I actually am.
Yeah. Reality check.
Yeah. Okay. So, standard 1/4 foot on. And why?
What?
I also had to super make sure with that last bag because I made 7 of those bags with the fusible fleece, and it gums up my iron so bad.
Yes.
But I got like 98% of it off with a wet rag while it was heated, and then dragging it on the side of the counter with a wet rag. while it was hot.
So I'm trying to figure out why this piece is attaching 2 inches down. Do either of you know what is going on there?
Sorry, say it again. I wasn't listening.
No, it's fine. On the prepare bag pockets, this strip that I'm sewing. Oh, this strip that I'm sewing is fully decorative. I think is what's going on.
Oh, it just goes a little bit below the bag.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why I attached it 2 inches below, and it looks like
I
it's
see that.
Like
it folds up, so it still connects all the way over the fleece or the fold.
Yeah, so the pocket itself is still fully quilted. There's no like flimsier section.
So the zipper is still going to go on the foam and everything. Cool.
We'll find out, but it's looking that way.
Looking at the pattern, like now that I'm paying attention to it, that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah. So there's actually just even more fabric now that bottom
now
zipper.
I'm like, does it really even need the lining if it's going over the foam? But because it's not getting quilted on, probably.
Also, like, just putting it out there, that means that there is going to be an extremely brief moment at the end where we are going to be stitching through
45 layers.
Four layers of the fully quilted fabric. Because it's going to be pocket and fold over pocket and front and side that are all quilted. And then 2 layers of regular fabric, 1 layer of interfacing possibly, and then a layer of zipper fabric, and then also folded over binding.
Yep, that's going to be amazing. Hello, walking foot.
Yes.
And in her video, she does not use a walking foot.
Yeah, I can't even.
She's like, as long as you're using a stiletto, you'll be great.
Oh, which I have a stiletto.
I mean, you're just going to have to really do the, like, you know, where you have your hands on both sides and you are just forcing that walk to happen.
And I think that's what the stiletto helps with. And I'm super excited that I had put it in my Amazon cart and my hubby bought it for me.
Nice.
I'm like, oh, I have a stiletto.
Okay, so marking the 2 inches. I'm having a dumb moment. Bear with me.
That's like all my moments, so it's okay.
I laid the ruler over the entire fabric and then was like, how would I possibly mark this? Never mind.
Yeah, well, you're talking to the one that I ran errands in my husband's car yesterday, which I very rarely take it anywhere, but then we went into like 5 stores and I kept coming out and I kept having to hit the panic button because I'm like, I don't even know what car I'm looking for. I completely do not recognize my husband's car. We've only had it 6 months and it's like, it's not in my brain. I'm still looking for a minivan, not the Pathfinder. And I just can't find it in the parking lot. I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with me?
I do that every time I have to take my parents' car because I'm like, I don't even remember what color this thing is.
Like, I don't know what car I'm looking for. And then I'm like 3 aisles over and like 10 feet too far out. Yeah. Like, oh God, what's wrong with me? So yeah, no, I'm feeling you on the ruler thing, whatever. Just roll with it. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so I marked my 2 inches. It was absolutely not a scant 2 inches, but that's okay. And then I'm supposed to align the bottom of this with that mark. And then it just says sew across. It doesn't give a seam allowance, so we're just assuming everything is a 1/4 inch here, correct?
A little bit more. How long has it been in there?
25 minutes.
And how long did it say?
25 minutes.
Give it another minute. Daisy, Violet, go lay down.
Okay. Oh, and you saw my video the other day about how I was able to go reverse with a walking foot, right?
I did, and then, but like, I'll try it. But my instructions for the walking foot absolutely said do not go in reverse.
Oh, so like I don't read directions.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I do something with my machine, I bust out the manual so that I like attach everything the right way, and it definitely like very clearly says don't go in reverse.
So
No back stitch.
I will bust out my manual for a lot of things, but like I would have been busting out the manual for walking feet like 3 machines ago. And then never looked at it again. So now, and in this book, well,
Now you're curious. You want to know.
Walking foot is page 44. So I'm going to put it out there that mine absolutely says reverse stitches cannot be sewed with a walking foot, and I proved that wrong.
Okay, well then I know that mine is probably wrong. I mean, because you have a brother too, so your Josephina is like a distant cousin of mine. So mine should do just fine with that.
Yeah, and I mean, I literally just sat there, and like you've got the automated buttons as well, right?
Yeah.
Where you just hit that button and it does a reverse stitch. I just hit that thing 1 million times, and it created a stitch identical to the forward stitch that I had just done, and everything underneath it looked totally fine as well.
Well, that'll be helpful because honestly, even with the walking foot, when I'm doing those reinforced corners, like just like we have on this one, I'm doing that X. My machine is hardcore. Like, that is too much fabric, bitch. I'm not made for this.
The X is always a bit of an adventure. I've done that X many times. Every machine, every bag I've ever done that X, it has gotten grouchy.
So I'm trying to think, because that one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers of fusible fleece and 6 layers of fabric.
Yep.
My machine is unimpressed with that.
Okay.
Also have to tell you, like, as I'm pressing my fabrics, I just adore them, and it makes me very excited about my time. It just makes me happy.
I'm just praying that this time I end up with a bag that actually looks okay, because that last one I did, I swear I thought everything looked good as I was like picking the fabrics and matching them. And then when I put it all together, I was like, oh.
Oh.
Yeah, when you put it all together, that thing was wild.
Yeah.
Just let her out.
Annoying.
She is annoying. Just let her out.
Okay. So that little pocket jam is together now. So that is what the front pocket's going to be.
Okay.
And let's see.
I'm sorry,
So
I missed it. Can you hold it up again?
yeah.
That's probably good.
All right, and then I just need a zipper to go across pristine. Oh, and then it does want me to sew this together, which I absolutely agree with. Just along the top with a little scant 8 here.
It does not look. No, that.
A little bit of basting. I'm absolutely running a stitch length 3 right now because it's just a basting stitch. Whatevs.
Rebel.
Yeah. It's just basting.
Give me the box.
Also, see, I do baste sometimes. Just not all the time. Okay, basted. Okay, so this is where I am attaching the zipper. Oh, I pulled that zipper pull down too far. That's okay.
We can do this. I know.
So this is supposed to be a 16-inch, and of course, since I'm just dropping it on right now, I'm not going to waste an extra 2 inches of zipper, so I'm just going to cut it to a little bit longer than it needs to be. I'm off camera, but you see, I'm oh god. Okay, so that is the beginning right there, and it's just hanging over a little bit. I'm going to cut it on this side so it's hanging over just a little bit.
Chris, I just noticed that you have your little scissors dangling around your neck.
Yes.
And that's the one that your mom. I have a pair of flamingo ones like that in my desk at work that a coworker gave me. But putting it on a necklace so it's just there, oh my gosh, that's genius.
My mother got me this already on a necklace.
It's already on the necklace. Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
I need that. I have the scissors. I just need to get. I don't even. Maybe it is on a necklace, and I just never paid attention because I didn't open it. It's just in my desk at work. I don't know why I haven't brought it home. I thought maybe it'd be nice to have a pair of little mini scissors in my desk at work, but I need those here at home.
It's super nice.
So now that I'm looking at her diagram here, I'm realizing that she actually, that little extra that she gives it, the extra 2 inches, that's where she has the zipper pull sitting on this. So I thankfully did leave just enough here that I've got the space that my zipper pull is living right here, hanging off of the
edge.
Hanging off of the edge. So I'll be able to zip this all the way across. So I am just going to go ahead and clamp it like normal.
I know, is this you're using the zipper foot or you're not using the zipper foot?
I am going to use a zipper foot because you asked for zipper foot.
Yay!
Also, zipper foot is pretty easy.
I do like those diamonds. Maybe I'll do the diamonds on the outside and the stippling on the inside.
That's what I did. Yep.
I did all diamonds.
Now, when you do the diamonds, do you just measure the one and then use the guide on the walking foot for the other ones, or how did you do it?
Yeah,
Or
and
did
I
you draw them all?
actually, instead of like doing any sort of measurement or whatever, I don't know how solid
Yeah.
the guide bars are on your zipper feet, but mine doesn't have like any sort of notching or locking mechanism or anything. It's not really loose, but you know, a good tap will make it move. So I actually use this line on my kick plate to
Okay.
drop my zipper foot or drop the guide bar on so that I could occasionally recalibrate it.
Okay.
Yep, and you can see that they're a good size box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Chris, you actually did the like vertical with the 60-degree cross hatches. Is that what you did on yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chris did the other method where you actually just drop like straight lines in one direction instead of
Yeah, and I
diagonal
actually
lines.
super like that.
Yeah. So against the longest way, I just did straight lines, and then I turned it 60 and did diagonals across the rest of it.
But yeah, I just
Awesome.
I measured that first angled line with the ruler, you know, just matched it up to the 45-degree angle, and drew a line on it with one of my friction markers.
Gotcha. And then,
Yeah.
Chris, did you have a lot of shrink factor with yours as well?
Oh, honestly, not that much.
Okay.
I didn't like really remeasure it, but like when I went to like trim everything down, like this piece here, just as an example, this is a whole piece of extra.
Okay.
And I have several of these.
I think it's more to do with what you're using as your stabilizer.
That's what I'm wondering. And because
Mhm.
it's that fusible foam, I'm hoping that I will get away with I only have 1 inch of wiggle room instead of the 2 inches that she gave on everything.
Yeah.
And I'm hopeful that the fusible fleece will be my saving grace. Or the fusible foam.
Yes. Oh, you know what? I'm doing this slightly wrong. In her video, when she does the zippers, does she fold over and attach? How does she actually do it? Does she do the fold over before she attaches it?
I don't remember doing any folding.
So she didn't. So she just does the.
I mean, the only parts I watched were her doing like the interior page zippers, but she basically just like had the zipper attached to the mesh already in that step, and then just like laid it on and then like stitched a box, and that was it.
Right, because that's a different scenario, and that's okay.
But
Yeah.
that's all that was in the video. Was
Mhm.
she didn't talk about.
Page 2. See page 2 for instructions about attaching the zipper. And she really does. She puts it upside down.
Okay.
So like the zipper pull is upside down and then you fold it up.
Okay, perfect. So that is exactly what I was about to do. Awesome. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't doing anything crazy here. Okay, and then she
both
does.
sides together and the zipper slide on the left and the zipper clip and the zipper on top. Click the long edge of the zipper to the quilted fabric.
And then she opens it and finishes it.
Yes.
Okay.
Sew the zipper to the quilted fabric, a generous 1/4 inch from the edge of the zipper. Finger press the zipper tape over onto the lining side.
Oh, Got it. That was the step that I was missing. I was like, I know I'm doing something slightly wrong here. And it is that make sure that you're actually, the zipper itself, the zipper tape is sticking out slightly from the actual fabric that you're stitching it to. And then that way, when you go to finish it, you'll be able to like close it over that raw edge and you won't have a raw edge there anymore.
And also a tip, a stiletto helps to push the raw edges under the zipper tape and to hold the zipper tape in place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so she's like finger press the zipper tape over onto the lining side after you've done the first stitch, and then from the lining side, sew the very edge of the zipper tape, flattening the tape against the fabric as you go. So you'll do two stitches along it. This will produce a line of top stitching on the outside and will close all the raw edges.
So you guys, you can't see it super well because unfortunately it's black, but you see I just got that little extra hangover of the black over the fabric. So, oh yeah, I'm getting my zipper foot out. Like, why? What do I keep doing here? Right. Okay, zipper foot.
She gives basically the same directions when it's attaching to the mesh as well.
Yes. Yeah, that all makes sense. Okay, so the big thing to keep in mind with zipper foot, let me go closer. Where is my stiletto? Where did I put that? Did I put it back in my kitchen drawer? I'll be right back.
Bye.
Allie, I can send you a
Okay. So the big thing to keep in mind with the zipper foot is that you're going to have this one long bar on it with a little divider right here. And that you can attach it to your shank on either side. And that is going to depend on which way you're stitching so that the needle is going to like drop into this hole right here and the zipper is going to run right here. So you see how close you can get your zipper to it. And then it's just elevated. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is just like elevated right here enough that the zipper can go under it.
Okay.
So basically you can stitch right up to the zipper. And the only thing that you have to be careful of is that if you've got too much fabric there, you know, your zipper can start eating that fabric. So that's the one thing to keep in mind when you're doing this. And we got down. Can I get actually under the machine? Can I bring it over here? Okay. So let me, oh my God, go on. Get like right on the ground. Get right on the ground. Okay. So my zipper is right here. And I'm going to be stitching on this side of it. So I want the foot to be, there's just no good angle for this. There's no good angle for this. So, okay. So my zipper is here. And I need to be stitching right here so that when it opens up, it's on that side. So the stitch needs to be right there. So I'm going to need my foot to sit just like this on it. So that means that that bar where it's going to be connecting, that my finger is absolutely covering because I'm terrible at this bar is the one that needs to be connected. And trust me, you just like put it on your machine and think about it and you'll get there.
Okay, so I'm dumb because there's another foot that I've never used, and it just dawned on me which foot I was picturing for the zipper foot, and it was definitely not this. I was actually picturing the buttonhole foot, the big plastic white thing. So that's what I had in my head that I was expecting to put on. I'm like, this is not what I'm picturing, because I've never used either. So there you go.
Yeah, that's a whole other foot right
That's
there.
a whole different ball game.
Yeah, that's a whole other magic trick, which is absolutely magic. Buttonhole feet is like the most incredible thing ever in the world.
It seems like witchcraft.
Yeah. And like as it is happening and you're seeing it do it and it like it's absolutely 100% working, it still looks like witchcraft.
Yeah, the part of my super zoom up. I've got my phone super close so I can see it.
I don't understand the camera angle that they get on the shows. That always looks phenomenal.
I know. Like, you're good. I'm blind and I actually can see better when my glasses are off and I'm holding it close.
I guess that's kind of the angle that they sit at.
Yeah, that's pretty good right there.
Oh, except it's all going to start shaking violently because.
Yes, well, that's what happens, especially with a zipper.
That's not shaking.
No, not at all.
It's because I'm going slow. I'm like, I'm just going to keep going slow on this.
While you're doing this, I can tell you about my other fun side project that I just picked up that I'm hoping to have done by Friday. It won't be hard. My 4-year-old advised me she's got a cold blankie, and all 4 of my kids have had cold blankies. It's satin on one side and fuzzy fabric on the other side. And Lily has 2 of them because when she was little, we couldn't take it away to wash it. So we would magic wash it and have one always clean in the laundry room. And we would just go in there and wash it and then bring her a clean one. She's 4.5 now and has since discovered she has 2. And now she just always has 2. But she complains that they're not big enough to cover her anymore. And so I bought 1.5 yards of fuzzy fabric and 2 yards of satin fabric. And I'm going to make her a massive cold blankie.
Okay, so that is stitched, and you see, let me see how close we can get here.
So this is the finger pressing part.
Where is the camera? You see how close that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the
That's
magic of the zipper foot.
Okay.
Yep. And then, so it would press, I don't know how in all of hell she's finger pressing this. Except I guess it could be, where are you facing now? It could be because she's not using zipper foot, but you cannot finger press.
Oh yeah, no, not with, I bet it's because she's not using the zipper foot.
You know what I think part of it is? Move your hand a little bit, Alicia. I feel like the zipper tape I have versus the zipper tape you have, which is her zipper tape, it's much wider.
Oh.
Like that. Like there's a lot of fabric on the edge of these. I don't know if it really translates how I'm holding it.
This full zipper tape is 1 inch wide.
My
Like
zipper-
one side is 1 inch, or like the whole
No,
thing is
the
1
entire
inch.
width of it is 1 inch.
Mine
Same.
is
I think.
mine's almost 1.5 inches.
Okay, so that makes a difference as well, definitely.
Mine's 1.25 inches. Yeah, I got 1.25 inches.
So all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and come over here and press it.
So now, in addition to like pressing the main zipper so that it lays flush with the fabric, the lining, or the inside seam, that's got to be pressed down, because when you do the top stitch, then it'll hold it down so that there's no raw edge. Is that what I'm?
Repeat that?
So I'm just picturing the seam where you're doing it. So I know you're folding the zipper tape up, but at the same time, where your seam is, that 1/4 inch is going to go down away from the zipper.
No. Everything is going away from the zipper. So when I press this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everything, so that it folds it down, so it's just the zipper up and everything is folded down.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
then when you do your top stitch, it locks that little nub of the seam down. Yes,
Yes.
that's what I was like.
Okay,
trying
yeah.
to picture in my head. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, and then that's what your next stitch is going to put down.
Yep. And then I'm probably going to have just a little bit of raw seam here, but nothing terrible. I'm not too stressed about it. I am going to keep my zipper foot on, but my zipper is going to be on the opposite side now.
Okay.
So this is where I'm just going to Come here. Oh, God. Be smarter than the machine.
You won with the machine.
Yeah.
You
Come on,
are
Rosafina.
the machine.
Oh, no, that's the regular light. Okay. So I am.
Are you judging me?
Yes.
I'm apparently too loud for everyone in my house.
See, I think you're too quiet. You should tell them that.
See, I'm going to be like the bedtime story that I read Lily last night, where Thumper keeps trying to tell the baby duck to quack louder or quieter, and the duck just keeps getting louder and wakes everybody else in the house up. And that is now my goal.
Good.
Okay. So I am
I got the one to go back to sleep.
dropping the foot off and just moving it to the other side so that now the metal flat part of the zipper foot is going to be to the left of the zipper instead of to the right of the zipper where it was before. And I'm also going to change my bobbin, because right now I have a white bobbin because I was doing dark fabric on one side and white fabric on the other yesterday, and it didn't matter until this exact moment.
Chris, is that lining that you're turning or binding, whatever that you're inverting?
This is not binding. This is the carrying strap tabs.
Oh, the straps. So, but you're inverting it. Now, do you ever close the end and just use a stick to feed it through?
Look, I figured out how to do this trick yesterday. So
what I seal one end, and then I put a stick over it, and then I just drag it down the stick.
I guess my question there is, I also have to get strapping into this, and I feel like if I sealed one end, I wouldn't be able to get the strapping end.
Maybe, but if you seal it super far over, you could just trim it off.
I don't know. The safety pin doesn't take me that long.
Oh, you are using a safety pin at least. Okay, fair enough.
Are you talking about for feeding the strapping in?
No, she was talking about.
I'm
She's
just talking
talking
about
about-
inverting it.
She's talking about inverting.
I honestly, this is wide enough that I absolutely just inverted on my finger. Like I just did the thing where I put my finger into the tube and then just like pulled the tube, and I was able to invert the shorter ones in probably like 5 minutes while I was working.
Fair enough.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just inverted both of these, and I feel like it only took me like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
No, you were super fast on it. I was impressed, but I was just wondering because I know a lot of like, particularly I have an apron pattern that I make that I have to invert the straps, and I just use a stick.
Okay, so
I'm living my safety pin life, and I'm pretty happy about it.
Fair enough. I was just curious what the other methods were.
my machine is fighting with me right now. Don't mind me. Come on.
Well, that's fair. I was like looking at different methods on YouTube. And I think one of the ones I saw that I might have hated the most is someone like they basically like let out before they stitch this with the right side inside, they pulled bobbin and top thread the full length of the tube
Oh,
into the crease and then stitched all the way down and then used the threads to pull it through. And I'm like, I just hate that. That's just a waste of thread.
it is a waste of thread, but it is clever all at the same time.
It is.
But also, it only works if the tube is wide enough for the bobbin to go through. And again, once it's wide enough for the bobbin to go through,
Your
It's,
finger could go in.
yeah, it's not like a really bad one to deal with. And like they're always like they're never great to deal with, but there's certainly a big difference between like these wide bag straps and
Right.
a narrow apron strap.
Oh, Justice.
It'll never go out in justice, but at least if it made worker.
Looks like it does.
Look at over by the Dunkin'.
I'm attempting to rip seams through too much fabric right now.
Side note, has anyone ever used a cloth napkin as a pressing cloth?
Yes, absolutely.
That's what's about to happen because I have to get a damp cloth to press to fuse my fabric to my fleece or my foam. I'm so used to fleece.
Understandable.
I asked her for fries. And she said something about if I want fries, I'll go do it.
Why are you fighting me?
Because I paid it.
Yeah.
I'll throat punch her later. It's fine. I mean, sorry, is that not on mute?
And how was all that snow?
It's still like just a light dusting on the ground. It didn't like accumulate,
Good.
but it was nasty. It was like flurrying all. I don't know how it didn't accumulate because like literally the wind chill yesterday morning was -6 and it flurried off and on all day. But it's sunny today, so I'm hoping that will make it go away.
Sarah was mad at me yesterday for bitching that it was going to be 61 degrees today, but it was 86 yesterday. So I think
I
that's
know.
valid.
It's supposed to be in the 90s while we're down there next,
Yes.
which a large chunk of our group is not happy with because we wanted to go in February.
It was
But
30 yesterday.
Yeah, but it was 86 yesterday and it's 61 today.
that is a big jump, but that's like Midwest weather right there.
Yeah.
Just 40 to 20 to -6.
But like all of that is just cold. And meanwhile, I went from hot to cold.
Yeah, cold to cold versus hot to cold. All I know is it's going to be gloriously warm when we're down there, and I'm very excited about it.
Yes.
You guys like 67, 30, 86, 90, 92.
Yeah, it's going to be in the 90s when we're there.
Yeah. And I'm here for that.
I know. Some of the in-laws are not happy about those temperatures. I'm delighted. So,
Means that I only have to pack that one pair of jeans.
yeah, one pair of jeans each, and the rest of it's shorts.
Yep. So I have that issue right now where it just it like kept dropping the stitch in the exact same spot. So I just have like nightmare knot that I'm getting through. I'm almost there though, finally. There we go. Take 2. So that is part of that knot that I just had was just like the machine acting up. Part of it is because I was using the zipper foot. That is the one downfall with the zipper foot is that it doesn't hold things as well because it's just got that little tiny piece there. So that is just something to keep in mind when you're using the zipper foot, that you got to be really careful about where your stitches are dropping, and you got to have really good control on it. Not so much on that first stitch. That first stitch where everything's just laying on top of itself. That should go fine. It's the second closing. So if you want with the second closing, it's a wider out stitch. You can switch to your regular foot. But usually I'm applying a whole bunch of zippers at the same time, and I don't want to like have 8 million feet floating around. There we go. My feed dogs were like, no, there's nothing here. What are you talking about?
Like, we're not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why
There we go. Oh, and then this is probably stiletto time, but I'm actually going to use the chunky end of this chopstick because I feel like I'm just holding things in place. Except just now, as soon as I said that, as soon as I got cocky, I ran off the edge slightly.
Fail.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean? Oh, she just said, I'm not your mother, and walked away. I'm like, what's that supposed to mean? Oh. Like, I'm standing right here, people.
Okay. So.
Okay, so that's what that means. Crossbow. Secure. Okay.
All right, so this is all finished on this side, and you see that the zipper tape did basically fully cover that raw edge, so things are looking good. Look at how good my nails look, y'all. That's a joke. But you see that the that tape did cover that entire raw edge, so that looks pretty sealed. And then on this side, you're not going to be able to see it too well, which is great because it was sloppy AF. But I do have that finished seam right there.
Okay.
Yep. And that's it. And then like you can't, well, yeah, if I put it close, you can see how close that zipper is. Oh God. You can see how close that zipper is to the actual edge of the fabric. So if I do them about the same on the second one, it's going to end up like that with very little zipper showing there, as opposed to how it looks on her bag, where there is a substantial
bunch of
amount
tape.
of zipper. Yeah. And
Okay.
again, it's with bags, it's not so big of a deal, but I just come from that world of
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
garment
I'm
construction.
just getting judged everywhere today.
What does the Grandma Ginger say?
I'm reading instructions and not actually paying attention to where I'm holding the camera.
I mean, you guys have to look at my boobs
know what it
constantly. It is what it is.
I would love to have the phone stand. That would be helpful.
Got one on my desk.
I have one on my desk at work too. That does not help me here. That is where they're both at.
You just, again, need to get this combo. Look at this combo right here. This
That is a
phone
hell of a combo
stand.
right there. Is that where you
Yeah.
always have your phone? Look at that.
Yeah. You have the phone, you have
You
the
don't
ring
have
light.
to.
That's fine.
This was like $12 on Amazon.
Okay.
It's just a clamp. It just clamps.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fancy.
Yeah.
Little what's yours?
My family is a tough crowd today. Let me just tell you.
There's no phone about. Not holding the guys who make that.
I think they don't remember who does their laundry and their dishes and cooks for them. And
Like Grandma Ginger does.
yeah.
Because you would never stop doing that for them.
No, I freaking make my 19-year-old's lunch every day for work.
Oof.
It's legit. I pack her lunch every night. You were 19 in like 5 days. You count.
For all intents and purposes, you're gonna. Yes.
I hate
Okay.
Okay, so
It's whacked up.
that took us to we're 2 hours in, which is a different time depending on where you are, but that's okay. It is about 11 o'clock my time, and we did say that we were going to try to end these at that time so that Chris could go to work.
Oh, I go into work later today. I'm not in a rush.
Oh, okay. Did we
Oh,
want
nice.
to keep going, or did we want to?
Yes, at least a little bit, because I have a question, and I
Sure.
feel like it should be super obvious. But my brain is mush,
Sure.
so that is what it is.
You gotta be careful.
I feel like I'm spending all of it.
We need to try and set up the automatic.
So on the carrying strap handle, the real long guy
Yes.
that you put the slider on.
Yes.
The instructions of like how I am doing this make no sense to me.
Let me grab mine. The good news is that I can't stitch it because I haven't done the
I don't have a class.
those like
You will.
the stitches that you just did. I haven't done those stitches yet.
Oh, the
Right.
topping.
Yeah, but I can at least demo the hardware on this.
That's really, I feel like, all I need. So like where I am at is, so it's step 6 of the carrying strap, which is attach wide mouth slider and swivel hooks. Position the 1-inch wide mouth slider right curve side up with seamed side of strap down, which makes sense. Insert one side over the bar and insert B.
They're done.
Fold strap over itself so seam sides are together and aligned finished edge along 1/4 inch line so to secure. That doesn't. I'm confused.
No, that's fair.
Like I've marked those lines. Like this is the 3/4 inch
Oh, that's
on the finished side, and then I've got the 4.5 on the seam side.
I think that's why my clothes feel funny.
But to me, it sounds like I'm stitching the whole thing like folded in half.
Okay.
It doesn't, and I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me mentally.
Totally fair. I don't know. I've got the one that's important here. I'm trying to find my swivels. You know what? The swivels are not what is important here. I'm just bothered by the fact that I don't know what happened to that bag of swivels that I had. No. Where did they go?
I think it should be
How did I lose an entire bag of swivels, y'all? I mean, I know exactly how, because I made it. This is what my life is, but
I know. Well, apparently, Mayfield is not just
okay, I will find the swivels later. So,
Everybody else in the family is on spring break this week.
Well, everyone else is at Yorkville or Osteio.
so we're gonna go past that. We're gonna pretend that I have swivels and that everything is totally fine. Don't mind me.
This is fine. This is fine.
What page was it in the directions?
11.
11.
Okay, perfect.
Basically, literally from the top is like the header's not on that page, but those directions on the left are all about the carrying. I have done a 1 through 5 completely successfully.
Okay, we're at 6. Thank you for saying that. Okay, got it. All right, so
I need a vanilla sprinkle donut.
Well, Lisa wants to know exactly what I can do.
oh,
You let me play some songs. We're not in my class.
Lily,
I feel like they just gave pictures for like the wrong things here.
Yes, absolutely, they did.
Yeah. Okay, because you were saying all that, and I was like, this just doesn't. I feel like it doesn't, match up right. So all you do, the problem with these pictures is that the focus here is really on getting it attached to this middle bar. So you feed it through,
She wasn't in your car.
and then you feed it through the other side, which that obvious. And the problem is that in the picture, it makes it look like this. Like it's the outside.
Yeah.
But really, it's this. It's the inside. So once you get it through, you just pinch it together, and then you would do your X stitch right here to hold it in place.
3.5.
And then once you do that, you take the other side and you feed it in on top.
You're off camera.
Okay. So you feed it back in over it. I absolutely will feed it over so that this would have been where the raw side of the X is. I don't know that it actually makes any difference. It's just going to be closed like that when it's done. You feed it through the one side, and then you feed it through the other side so that what you just did, what you just fed through is fully on top of that other piece that you just stitched together. And then that is your strap right there.
I need that all again. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, do that again.
Hold on. I forgot a piece anyway, so it's okay. There's a D-ring that needs to...
I've got to follow along, or I don't feel like I'm getting this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
approved by Apple.
this is exactly why, I just realized this is exactly why I needed those swivel hooks. I'm going to be using a D-ring as a swivel hook, just as a placeholder, because I don't have one. I'm not actually stitching, so it's okay. So we are at this first part where I've just fed it through, and that's the picture. Right.
Okay.
That's what we have in the picture where we just have it fed through.
Right. And so that's what that's supposed to look like on mine,
Yep.
right?
Yep, exactly. And then flip it over
Okay.
and then fold that flap down.
Okay.
And then this is where you're going to be sewing it together for your X.
Okay.
So, and then I'm going to drop
Oh,
it.
hang on. Is it? Let me. Can you hold it up sideways so I can see where the? Okay, so that it doesn't stick out. There we go. Okay.
Does that make
It is
sense?
feeding through. Like,
All
yeah.
right. So, okay. So question right now. So we have these two lines marked. Like on the other side, it's got a 4" and a quarter line, and on the top we have a 3/4 inch line. Are those the lines I'm lining up, or is this within that gap, or is this supposed to be past the 4" mark?
That is a totally fair question that I have no idea because I just wing these. let me look at the directions so I'm sure I can figure it out. Okay, so that is going to be, is that directions from, right there it is. Okay. Let me read this part really quickly and I'll be able to give you the answers.
Okay.
Just as somebody who knows how to do this, I just don't ever measure things because of who I am as a human being. Go over the middle.
I would like to be at that point, but I'm not yet.
No, it's totally fair. That's why we do this. Fold strap over onto itself so that the seam sides are together. And align finished end along mark. Oh, okay. So it looks like where's the direction for that marking that 4 1/4 inch line?
5.
5.
Step 5.
Oh, there we go. Okay. On the seamed side. Yes. Okay. So let me actually do this part. Okay. I'm going to mark it with a needle so that it is visible.
I don't have my sewn, but I'm going to follow along with just my bag strapping so that I can figure this out.
Yes, absolutely.
But also, how wide are yours? Because I feel like I bought the right size, but this looks like huge compared.
That looks gigantic. They should be 1 1/4 inch, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what mine are. Mine just say 1 inch on the box, but
Okay, yeah, mine's 1.5 inches. Why the hell would I buy it this large? Wide mouth slider, 1 inch slider. I must not have seen the half next to it. I will have to go swap those out because those are too big.
That's okay. We're just doing a demo right now.
You know,
Okay.
for $2.50, I'm gonna open it because I really just want to figure this out, even though mine's too big.
Yeah. You'll find a use for it. Okay.
I'll use them
So
later.
that is that 4 1/4 mark on the seam side.
yes.
Okay. So we're going to be doing the feeding again. And again, so this is the seam side right here. I didn't state this before. It does say it right in the pattern, but of course you're going to be folding it so that seam side is to seam side.
Yeah.
So tuck that in. So again, that is what is in the picture right there.
Yes.
And then when we fold this over, this is going to match up. So this is the flap that matches up to that 4 1/4 mark.
Okay, and the slider mouth is within that loop. Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking for right there. It's literally right in front of me. Yep. So that is it right there where this is marking the box that we are sewing.
Okay.
And then that is, and then I think there's something that, what was it, 3/4 from each end?
Yeah, that's just I think, to
So that's where the
guide
bottom
you
of
from
the
the
box
box.
Yep.
Yeah,
So the
those-
bottom of the box is going to be like right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Okay.
and then you'll want to, does it say it here? I'm sure it does, and I'm just not seeing it. Of course, before you do the box, you're going to want to fold this end up a little bit. Oh, you already have it finished. Never mind. I see. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So you draw the box within those seams. Thank you for showing that to me.
You're welcome.
Yep. Okay, perfect. So that is the first step. So that is where that box is going to go. We are all set.
Okay.
So the next thing you're going to do is take your actual swivel hook, not your D-ring, your swivel hook. Again, I have no idea where I put them when they...
Swivel hook.
Yep. So you are going to feed that swivel hook now onto this end, on the opposite end.
Obviously, the swivel part faces the faces up.
It doesn't matter because you can flip it over. Like you can literally flip it inside.
Rotate it. Yeah. Okay. I see what you
Yeah.
mean.
So it's absolutely not something you need to think about at all. But right now, as you are folding it up, sorry, I'm mathing in my brain right now to make sure that we're giving the directions properly. Yes. Okay, perfect. So you fold it. You are going to like bring it back over the seam. So this is the unseamed side. And I'm just dragging it back up. Obviously, you don't need to do it in such a dramatic way, but I'm just going to bring it back up to make sure that it is covering. There we go. And then it's going to feed in right here. So this is where I did the box just now. And now I'm going to feed this in.
Okay.
And then I am going to feed it in the other side of it.
So it's like looping the whole thing.
So it is looping the entire thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And then now you've got your swivel hook. Let me go wide angle now. So now you got your entire strap. We've got this swivel hook right here that's already caught in the hoop.
Yes.
And then we're going to put the other swivel hook here on this single end that's on the other side that we just dragged through.
Okay, the non-looped side.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's it. Now we have a full strap.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so that puts the swivel hook on each end to attach to the D-rings on the bag to make it a carrying strap, and it's adjustable.
Yes. So I basically have this in its relatively short form because the whatever the fuck this thing is called, this thing is pretty well looped over, but I can also adjust it so that it is a very long strap now.
Okay. All right. So last question.
Sure.
And I think this is like the actual figure that I'm seeing in here, which was confusing me way earlier. And so so we also have like the 4 1/4 inch mark on the other side, which is where we're going to fold over to trap the last swivel hook.
The last swivel hook.
Exactly. Yep.
So that's what that would look like with swivel hook, and then this.
Yes. Yep. You've got a full strap right there. You just can't put any pressure on it because nothing is actually sewn right now. But you've got a full strap there now with swivel hooks on both sides, so that you can attach it to the bag.
Witchcraft.
Yeah,
that is witchcraft.
Sorry,
Also,
all of sewing is just witchcraft to me at this
Every
point.
drop of it is. Every drop of
Also,
it.
I apologize for wearing a really loud pattern while trying to demonstrate something over my body.
No, but it was super helpful. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, it's hard to wrap. This is the part that I missed initially of putting the swivel hook on before I zipped it back around. This is the part that I F up every time, and every single time I end up having to like take this guy off at the end because I realize that I have forgotten to put the other swivel hook on. Or I have absolutely put this one on first because it's the easy one and then been like, shit.
Well,
Because then once this part is on, then this part you end up having to stitch while it is all like bound up here like this, and like that does not work. It just does not work.
I have done that.
And it just
Now
does not work.
I realized that I have made one of these once, and it was a while ago.
This looks so professional. Oh my god.
It does.
Yeah.
Like, and I definitely need to get a smaller one of these because camera math, damn it.
Yeah, no, that is
Yeah, that doesn't work.
That is not right.
At least you got to figure it out early.
yeah.
Right? I have time to
So-
fix that.
I feel like for next month, oh gosh, where did you come from?
Okay.
Don't mind that. Don't mind that moment of panic just now. I had a random sign laying here, and that sign was in fact the carrying strap that I am messing with.
Well, because it's flat,
Like, oh dear God, where are you from? What am I unlabeled?
Yeah.
it's gonna be to flip and land on the belly like that.
Okay. There we go. So for next month, I no longer need that one. That one is done. Mm, did I erase this when I was doing the massive clean the other day? It looks like I did. Oh no, there it is. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is going to be upside down for y'all because I am the one writing right now, and it just, I can't fix that. But so we're just adding on to the list of what we have done already or have yet to do.
I have a shoulder journal.
I don't actually want to write on this. Where's my... How did my counter get so...
So we should have already done the cut and the quilt and cut and the prepare bias binding and the prepare handles and straps. And I know that we are all not fully done with all of these.
That's where it should be.
And you have fully done cut, right?
Yes. And I'm going to work on it, so I'll catch up.
Okay, I'm not worried about that. I'm just marking as I go. The prepare bias binding is, of course, super simple and can really be done at any time. It was just like me picking and choosing all of the quick, easy stuff to do, or the stuff that absolutely had to be done in order for us to discuss today. And that is where we are. So we went over the issue that Chris had with preparing handles. Does everything else look pretty cut and dry with preparing handles and straps for you guys? Or are there any other questions with that one?
Let me read one more set of instructions and I will tell you.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
So did you...
Go ahead.
Oh, he's reading the instructions. I'm just wondering if he jumped ahead to the strap or if he did all of the pages already with all the zippers.
No. So, and recalling back to last month, the list that we had of things to do from last month were steps 1, 2, 3A, and 5. We skipped.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I guess I didn't write that down.
It's in a PDF format on the Discord.
I probably could have checked that, but
This
that's
exact
okay.
page that you are looking at on my screen right now is in fact in the Discord.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I have no other questions about handles. Everything makes sense.
Okay, perfect. So, what I'm gonna say we should add for next month. Sorry, I'm trying to like organize my life, and of course that's an impossible feat because it is my life. Okay, there we go. All right, so 1 and 2 and 3 now. 3 is preparing. 3B is preparing zippers. Okay, so we should also now have 3B done. And 3B done is just prepare zippers. It's not actually attaching them. It is just getting them prepared. We're still skipping step 4 for now, assemble pages, because I'm still stressed about that step. So we're going to discuss that next time, whether you guys are stressed about it or not. I am stressed about assemble pages. So we're skipping that. Again, we still have step 5 to finish, but we just went over the mathiest part of that. So we should be good there. I'm sorry. I'm looking at figure 35 right now and having a what the fuck moment. It is in step 6, prepare bag pockets, that I was like, we should definitely do that. But I'm looking, oh no, that's step 7.
Step 7. That's step 7.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to do step 6.
Okay, prepare bag pockets.
Yep. Again, I just did like part of that. That's what I was just doing with applying that zipper. So let's get that done. And then the other one is literally just putting binding on. So it is applying one zipper and then putting binding on.
I tossed him to you and he hit the floor. You dropped
For step 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gotta be. Probably because he's hanging out with you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
and we discussed that 12-inch zippers because we want like the extra hang off for the zipper place to hold the zipper while we're sewing it. That's a good idea to actually keep those 12-inch zippers.
yeah, but honestly, you don't need an extra 2 inches there.
Maybe 11.
You need you want to have if you look at the bag pocket C. No, you know what? Let's stick with looking at the bag pocket A picture. You definitely want that little bit of hang off on the back side, but that's like 1/4 of an inch. And that's just having a little bit of extra wiggle room there so you don't accidentally make it too short. And then where the zipper pull is, I literally needed 1/2 inch there. Okay. So if you just cut it an extra inch longer, and again, I didn't even measure it. I just held it up to the fabric and did it that way. But if you do an extra inch there, I think that is plenty.
Okay.
Okay. So, and then, okay. Yep. And then, so that is just doing that. Step 6 is preparing both the exterior and the interior pockets. So the only thing that changes with C and D is that you're going to be dealing with mesh instead of regular fabric, and then you are going to be dealing with back pocket debinding. Is that actually elastic? Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
that's the fold over elastic.
Yep. Is anybody worried about dealing with the fold over elastic?
I've never done it.
It looks really straightforward in her video, and like you can see the seam right down the middle of the elastic to know where it should fold.
Yeah, this should be fairly basic. And is it not even having us stretch that binding a little bit?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would personally give it just a little bit of a stretch as I'm doing it so that it, holds a little bit more snugly. But that's all I have to say about that, really. It's not like it needs to, like, it's already finished, so it's not like it needs to be finished in any further way.
Right, it just goes over the mesh.
Mm-hmm. We also have a ton of both the mesh and the fold over fabric. So if either of you do have problems with them, we don't have tons of the fold over, do we? I had like the exact amount when I cut mine.
I didn't actually cut mine yet.
That I haven't cut, but
Oh no, it looks like you got quite a bit more than me.
I have a lot. I have a couple strips like this, I think.
Okay.
I have this.
Perfect. So yeah, if you've got any issues, I would just say, don't try it again, but like, go ahead and try it. And if you have issues, then we'll discuss it next time.
Fair.
So that is what we're going to be doing. Is that step 6? We added 3B and we're adding 6. And then,
do you have your mesh handy?
so I have lace, but yes.
I want to see yours because honestly, I hate my mesh and I want new mesh.
Oh, so Chris has the actual mesh, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
I have her mesh.
Are you opposed to pulling that out of the package so that I can like see it?
How dare you, madam?
I know. I'm wildly presumptuous. Okay, so it is a pretty wide whole mesh.
I can unfold this a bit. That's what the single layer looks like.
Okay. So maybe mine's not that far off because this is mine.
It's because it's.
It looks similar.
It does look similar. I'm like, it's very firm.
Anne froze on my screen.
It's vanilla.
Oh, there we go. Now I see Anne slightly.
They call it a green.
Real chunky. Weirdly
It is.
chunky.
That's what it feels like. It's very chunky.
I mean, I will say like this only has stretch in a single direction.
Oh, mine doesn't have stretch in either direction. See, mine's not stretchy and it's very chunky. I don't think this is the right kind of mesh that I want, is really what I'm struggling with.
I have
There's-
lace.
There's,
I have lace, and I will say that it is extremely temperature sensitive. When I tried to iron it, it did melt slightly. And of course, once we get going, that won't matter. But that's what I'm using. It's going to be
looks
pretty
like what?
and very grouchy.
a hooker's wardrobe.
It looks very nice.
Yes,
It
it's
does
just
look
gonna
really
be
nice.
very grouchy, but that's okay. I handle grouchy. Oh yeah, so I'm currently like pressing it in my ironing mat. Like I actually just have it, like I have the ironing mat close up. So I'm kind of doing like the pressed flower thing where you smash flowers between two books. I'm basically doing that with the lace.
There.
Yeah. Okay, so I still don't understand. Oh, these placement lines are for the bag, for like actually laying everything out on the bag.
Oh, that figure 35.
Yes.
One at a time.
So I feel like if anybody is in overachievement mode, that whole step 7 looks horrifying, but is really just attaching the pockets and the straps to the bag front and back, and shouldn't actually be that difficult.
We let that monster go.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like.
Them mountains I've been down there, so they're ready.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say that if you want, I don't know that anybody is actually gonna have the time for it, but maybe I'm gonna add step 7 to the list.
Yeah, one of them like, no. You're wearing my jacket. You're gonna get on here already.
This isn't frosting.
You'll still manage to do it.
It's as somebody who has done this sort of thing many times, it's a pretty easy thing to get done. It just looks really complicated in the pictures. And then once these get done, all that will be left is actually like putting the bag together, like putting all of the pieces together to make a bag, and then putting all the pieces together to make the pages. But like everything will be prepped for the actual assembly of the bag once this is done. So that's where we'll be at for next month, and if that pans out, we'll have it done after next month.
Nice.
Yeah. And then of course putting the bag together is one of those things where it's a pain in the ass, but it's kind of a solo thing that you just have to go on that journey by yourself. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But like getting the panels together should be pretty easy. So we just gotta get all the pieces together and we'll be able to go. So I think that's everything. Is there any questions, comments, concerns right now?
No, I don't think
I
so.
think we're good. This was wildly helpful.
Perfect. I will take a shot of this and post it. So if anybody forgets what was on the list,
I wrote it down this time.
That's why I'm so sensitive.
I'm actually going to mark that last one as overachiever mode. So no one feels bad if they don't get to that. But I really do think that section will take like an hour to do tops. That section.
Yeah,
7.
it honestly doesn't look terrible. It's a lot of measuring, but it's just so you know exactly where you're placing everything.
Right. That graphic number 35, figure 35, whatever it was called, figure 35, made it look horrifying. It was like a horrifying first moment.
Oh, for sure.
But once you get that down, you should be good.
Should be good.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna call it here then.
I think we're good.
I'm hungry and would like to have breakfast. That's really where I'm at right now.
Yeah, my kids just got back with donuts.
Perfect. Even better. So,
Wonderful when you can send your kids to go get donuts.
right? When they become useful like that.
Like, hey, for once in your whole life.
So it looks like next month we haven't scheduled next month yet, right?
I don't think so.
And next month, when I feel like both of you have a better concept of this than me. When is Easter?
Easter is the 8th.
Oh,
Which
perfect.
What she said.
8th or 9th or whatever that
Right.
weekend.
Easter Saturday is the 8th. So Chris's holiday is the 8th.
Saturday is the 8th. Yeah, that's because my bestie, her husband is throwing her a surprise birthday party Easter weekend.
Oh,
You do know that that's Easter, right?
that's terrible planning.
It's okay. It's the best way to do it for them. So
Okay.
we're traveling, but that's fine.
You were saying like no, it's not tickets.
But that's
So-
why I know it so well. So really I'm open. Like other than Easter, maybe later in April's better, but
Yeah, so that we've got 5 Sundays in April. So the third Sunday is the 16th, which would be about a month from now. Or there's also the 23rd, and I don't know if either of you have any preferences for one or the other, but I'm okay with either.
Yeah, I'm walking in my calendar. Let me see if I have opinions.
I'm of the opinion that a little extra time would not be unappreciated. So
So that's the 23rd.
I will say this doesn't actually matter to me, but looking at my paper calendar, we appear to have penciled this in for the 16th, but we could move it to the 23rd.
I think we may have, but the 23rd would probably I just know my life and I could use an extra week.
That is fine with me.
Yeah, I'm also down with that because I think I've got a bit of a hecticness happening at the early part of April as well. So let me double check my paper calendar as well.
It's
I mean, I could actually
through here.
Excuse me while I bring over my paper calendar. I haven't set up my paper calendar for April yet, apparently. I feel like usually I am better at this than this, but I probably at some point did it up to March and then never did it again. So we've got regular quilt meetup on the 5th and the 19th.
You.
Correct? Oh, and vanished. Let me add Van.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Oh my
really
God.
can't navigate away without losing my connection.
Got it. Okay, so can someone confirm that we've got on the 12th and the 26th? Is that when we have it?
yeah.
Wait, for what?
Regular quilt, like Wednesday night meetup, is that the 12th and the 26th for next month?
That should be correct.
Oh, I have not written those in yet on my calendar, so it'd be whatever
I feel
on the
like-
Google calendar.
I feel like we all
19th.
wrote up our calendars to
Oh, are we having Olive Garden tonight?
are we
Oh,
having Olive Garden
We're
tonight?
having Olive Garden tonight?
You did miss some birthday dinners. Well, it's Ashley's birthday on Thursday. We were going to go to Olive Garden, but McKenna can't come up. So apparently we're going today.
Okay, so yes, our meetups next month are on the 12th and the 26th. So let me get them in real quickly.
Please don't. Who's so handsome?
It will be on Thursday. Well, you can't sing happy birthday to her. Well, we're gonna sing happy birthday to a restaurant. Because we're gonna go to a restaurant and have some pasta.
Okay, and then
Yes, 12th and the 26th.
I have absolutely nothing in anywhere, obviously. So yeah, the 23rd works for me as well if everybody's happy with that.
Yeah, that is fine.
Okay.
I'm good with that. That's good.
Yeah, well, like Taco Bell. Like Taco Bell. Pasta. I'll say you. It's like mac and cheese. You don't have to go. We'll probably have mac and cheese.
Yay. And then
I said we'll leave you.
Okay, and now I have a calendar that I'm ready to use.
Which one?
It's fine, everything's fine.
Back garden. Hey, Mom. Can I get that?
All right, so I am going to add those to the Google Calendar and to the Discord sometime today-ish. But other than that, I'm going to go and have some breakfast. So you guys have a great rest of the day.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.